All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Trying something new a little here today. Actually, I just tried this a minute ago, and I don't think I got this live recorded. But anyway, here we go. So this is why I am buying Bitcoin and crypto-related assets. Um, and if you're new to my channel, this is my first live stream. I've tried making YouTube videos here in the past. If you're back, welcome back. And I believe I am going to try to create videos going forward doing this. And so this is why I'm buying Bitcoin and crypto related assets. Um, so if you guys haven't been paying attention, the Bitcoin spot ETF was approved earlier this year in January. Big institutions are buying. Um, I personally have been an investor and swing trader for nearly 20 years. I've invested in real estates and flipped homes and have Airbnbs. Just finished building an Airbnb. But anyway, this is why I'm buying crypto. And basically, everything moves in cycles. All the markets move in cycles. There's a 7-year business cycle. And with crypto, it's a 4-year cycle, and this is the that year when the halving happens. So we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about some price predictions, and we're also going to talk about how you can get into Bitcoin and crypto if you've never invested before, or even if you have investments such as a 401k or an IRA, how you can get into crypto. And uh, I'll share with you my knowledge. This is what I've been studying. Like I said, the last couple years, I started buying crypto in, through a futures ETF called BITO back in 2022. Like I said, I'm an investor and swing trader. And I just see the potential here. I've always heard of crypto. I was kind of skeptical, like some people may be, but I've done a lot of research here, and I really think that it is a worthy asset, and it's going to continue to go up and to the right as network adoption takes place. So, like I said, you can see here in these 4-year cycles, back in crypto was created out of the great financial crisis in 2009, 10, I believe, and then it has these uh, big rallies up, followed by a big pullback, and crypto bear market winter, and then another rally and pullback. And each time these rallies and pullbacks have been massive, but they have decreased in volatility as far as the magnitude of um, these runs and pullbacks. And so this is the crypto cycle. This is the 4-year cycle. If you're familiar with crypto, you know all about this already. But yeah, we are had our bear market in 2022, and we're just starting this bull run, I believe, and it's going to run into 2024 and 2025, where we should see the next top sometime towards the end of 2025. I believe conservatively we'll see probably Bitcoin price around 120 to 150,000 dollars. There's a lot of predictions out there, some of them ranging much larger than that. But as you can see with this Bitcoin stock to flow model, they're projecting Bitcoin to be somewhere in the uh, upper several hundred thousands to possibly $1 million range. I don't think we're going that high this time. Uh, maybe a half mil would be achievable, but I don't think we're going that high. Like I said, 120 to 150, I believe, is conservative. I believe we could see a 200 to possibly a $300,000 Bitcoin this cycle. But yeah, this cycle is just getting started. A lot of people aren't paying attention yet. Probably some people are starting to see it uh, on the news and hearing about it. Um, so why the Bitcoin price is going to go up? We have the halving coming in just 53 days, according to NiceHash. And what the Bitcoin halving is when the hash rate is cut in half. Um, and so once it reaches a certain number of blocks on the blockchain, then the rate at which they are hashed is cut in half, uh, decreasing supply. That and with increasing demand since the Bitcoin ETF launched, check this out. The ETF inflows have surged and they're supposed to continue to surge. This is institutional adoption. This is the first market really that we've ever seen where retailers had uh, been able to front run Wall Street, and um, now Wall Street wants in. These big institutions want in. They are buying like crazy right now, and it's just going to continue. And it gives people that aren't really into the crypto world, that are just normal investors, uh, people with wealth, an option to get into crypto um, through one of these ETFs, and there's several of them out there with BlackRock, Fidelity, ARK, Bitwise. There's several ETFs out there, um, and we're just going, I believe, continue to see Bitcoin's price rise. The reason why I have gotten into Bitcoin personally is we all saw what happened in 2021 after COVID and the government started printing money. Um, Inflation went through the roof. Home values in a lot of areas soared. Um, New car prices, food, gas, all that. We saw just huge inflation, which caused the Fed to have to raise rates to slow down inflation. And now it appears that they have probably peaked on raising rates, and there are projected rate cuts coming later this year. Um, but every time there's an easing in monetary policy, such as cutting rates or printing money, we see all these asset classes grow, whether it's Bitcoin or the stock market or the real estate market. All these asset classes grow. And for the average person, the only way I see forward is I see, as this happens, inflation is going to continue. And for me, that answer is Bitcoin and crypto related assets. That is why I'm getting into this market. But let's continue on here. So, uh, here is the Bitcoin price chart currently sitting around $51,000. It uh, bottomed out in the end of 2022, beginning of 2023, down around 15,005. It's now up to $51,000. Like I said, I believe it will probably reach 120 to 150 fairly easily. Um, And just going forward, Cathie Woods sees Bitcoin price going to 1.5 million by 2030. Um, I don't know if that's possible, but maybe. But she has some interesting projections how she breaks this down with institutional buying, with people that went into this asset class to protect them, investing 1 or 2% of their portfolios into Bitcoin just to, hedge against inflation. Um, we see a lot of this coming, as well as other companies, small business, and even things like family doctors' offices and stuff are beginning to buy Bitcoin, just to help increase their rate of return. And even bigger companies may begin to put Bitcoin onto the balance sheets, possibly. So this is just going to continue to grow. Uh, she breaks down, how she sees all this coming in. So she has certain percentages for each of these different uh, types of investors, from institutions to personal accounts to small businesses, even to possibly the treasury having to buy Bitcoin to, be able to just pay off their interest. Right now they have printed so much money and we're so far in debt, that they have over $1 trillion in interest payments, just to pay the interest on the debt in the US. And so I believe this is just going to continue to spiral. There doesn't really seem to be an end to this for as long as I've been paying attention to markets. Um, this has always been a problem. Uh, they just continue to kick the can down the road, so to speak. And so every time, you know, they do that, they delay it, and there doesn't seem to be a real good solution here. And eventually, inflation could run away in this country, unfortunately, and that's why I see Bitcoin as the solution, as a lot of people are starting to wake up and see. But right now, you're not hearing maybe a lot about this. You may hear about it here and there, but over the next year or two, I believe you're going to start hearing about this a lot more on the news. Um, People are going to be buying the. This is my first Bitcoin cycle, and from what I see, I've done a lot of research. These things just get insane as more and more people buy in. The speculation builds, the FOMO builds, and people continue to buy, and then the price just goes parabolic, and everyone gets excited, and then eventually, it tops out, and then it comes crashing back down. But for me, personally, as a swing trader, I look to buy in. Like I said, I started buying in 2022, and um, I look to buy in and then probably take profits towards the top. And um, so that's an option if you are into swing trading. A lot of people aren't. I know a lot of people out there like to set it and forget it. And, for the long term, just imagine that this is going to keep continuing. Like Kathy Wood says, price could hit 1.5 million by 2030. So, with that said, how can you get into Bitcoin? Um, if you never invested before, I would say probably one of your best options is to maybe open like a Coinbase wallet or an exchange where you can buy Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana or some of these others. And you can purchase just dollar cost average, just put a percentage of what you're comfortable with. Again, none of this is investment advice. Make your own decisions, do your own homework, determine your own risk. But you can buy and dollar cost average on Coinbase. Um, but really, I wanted to talk about those people that are more seasoned investors, people that, like me, I worked in the corporate world for 15 years as an engineer, and um, so I have my retirement account and my IRAs and these things that, one thing that bothered me whenever I was working, and I had the 401k, was I also began trading stocks in 2008 and 9 in a small account, brokerage account I had on the side, but not being able to use, larger portions of my wealth to be able to buy opportunities that I saw. That's one thing with the 401k. Generally, you're limited to mutual funds, and maybe some ETFs or possibly a stock option if your company offers that. And um, so, anyway, it, there are ways if you have a 401k that you can manage this. And this is what I have recently done. Um, I have rolled over a portion of my IRA into iTrust Capital. So if you have a 401k or an IRA, you can roll a portion or all of that into iTrust Capital and be able to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum and some of these other altcoins. They also offer gold, spot gold, and silver as well. So, if we do see some sort of correction, I believe we probably will see something typically during this time of year in the beginning of Q or in quarter one. You typically see a pullback in the stock market. We haven't really seen that yet this year. Bitcoin has had a pullback of about 20% already. Maybe that's the pullback we get, and we just keep going from here. Bitcoin normally sees a pullback before the halving, uh, but this year it's just remained strong as well as the stock market. And um, like I said, I do believe we will see some sort of pullback, but I do believe we finished the year higher than where we started. Um, and so, anyway, I Trust Capital allows you to buy these Bitcoin and crypto related assets as well as gold, like I said. So, gold is a great uh, safe haven whenever we see these corrections. If we do get some type of bigger pullback or recession in the economy or in the stock market, you can buy gold, you can buy silver. So it's a good option out there for a lot of people that have a 401k or an IRA and they want to get into Bitcoin. Another option is if you have an IRA and you're able to actually go out and buy stocks and mutual funds. Um, like I said, I got in 2022. Uh, I began buying Bitcoin with the futures ETF BITO, um, which kind of tracks the price of Bitcoin, but it is a futures ETF, and so it's not exact one to one, but they do offer a dividend on it that's quite high, so it offsets some of that. Another option is to buy one of these ETFs that just launched through BlackRock or Fidelity, uh, and that's a good option for a lot of people. But I've done a lot of research on this, and there's another option out there. It's a stock. It's a company called MicroStrategy. MSTR is the ticker, and it's ran by Michael Saylor. If you're know anything about Bitcoin, I'm sure you know Michael Saylor. He is one of the titans in this industry, and he just has a really good service out there with his company, and MicroStrategy, from my research, continues to even outperform Bitcoin by about 10 to 20%. So that would be my suggestion if you're looking for some sort of stock or ETF to get into to gain exposure to crypto and Bitcoin. Um, a couple other options I've been looking at and I've been purchasing are some of these Bitcoin related stocks. Uh, so there are some Bitcoin related stocks such as Coinbase. Coinbase has their stock, as well as some miners such as Marathon Digital Holdings, Riot Platforms, um, and you can expect to see returns on these be probably more similar to what you see in some of these altcoins with these 5 and 10 X's that you see in these cryptocurrency cycles, rallies, bull runs, and so that is also an option. Um, Again, high risk but high reward. Uh, so that is another option there. Another option, if you want to get into cryptocurrency and you value your freedom, uh, is to go open a no KYC account exchange, and I just opened one here fairly recently. I'm using Apex Pro. Uh, there's links in the description to all these down below, so if you want to use those and support my channel, thank you. But yeah, you can go down there, you can open an Apex Pro account. The good thing about these exchanges is they don't require a bunch of background information. So you can, you know, be, I guess, more free, not being tracked every step of the way. So it allows you more freedom. The other thing about these exchanges is they allow you to um, use leverage. Now, I don't recommend using leverage for anyone that's not experienced. Um, I've used leverage before in real estate, but in real estate, you don't see these violent 20 and 30% swings in a couple days or a couple weeks. The real estate is market moves much slower than that, so there is a lot of risk there. But in these bull runs, you could use leverage. I opened up a couple positions using 2 and 3x leverage, and in these bull markets, it really allows you an opportunity to really grow your wealth, especially if you're just getting started and you're, you know, somewhat young. Maybe if you've uh, been, a young investor that's been kind of watching markets and wondering how can they grow their wealth. Um, Again, high risk but high reward. So use your own judgment there. Um, but that is an option, another option to get into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. All right, guys, that's all for me. Like I said, I've been trying to create videos in the past. I think this is a much easier and simpler format for me. So I plan to continue to make these videos going forward. Um, but yeah, I've been busy. I've, like I said, just built an Airbnb. I've got some other passion projects I'm working on. But I can plan to continue to make these videos. So you can follow me here on YouTube as well as Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And yeah, that is all for today. So I hope you guys have a great day. If you learned anything here, be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. And if you think this could help somebody out, be sure to share it with them. And I appreciate it. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a great weekend, and I look forward to seeing you here next week. All right, see you guys later.